Good day, fish tankers. Have you ever heard someone say they used to have a fish tank with a goldfish or maybe a couple of guppies, but after a while they got bored of the whole thing, doing the maintenance got a bit old hat, and the whole thing just became boring, so they gave the tank away or sold it in a garage sale and they're out of a hobby. Are you perhaps becoming a bit jaded and bored with the hobby? Well, the good news is that the scope of the aquarium hobby is quite wide, and not only are there many different kinds of fish that you can keep, there are many different styles of aquarium keeping. So if you are getting bored, maybe it's time to change it up. This is going to be a video just to briefly cover the scope of the hobby. If you're new trying to get into it, here are a few ideas of what can be done within the hobby. Or maybe you just need a few new ideas or try something new. Then this video is for you. Stick around. Of all the different aspects of the aquarium hobby, there are two aspects that I have never done before in all these years of keeping fish. And I'll let you guess which they are, because one of them I'm going to be dipping my toes into, and I'll get to that towards the end of the video. But this hobby goes through phases and there's levels where you can do it. I think most of us just start with a fish tank, and that is an aquarium, not necessarily a full-on ecosystem, maybe just rockery and driftwood, or maybe it can be a tank that just has plastic plants and substrate and filter in. There's nothing wrong with that. I've had that for a long time. I didn't really keep plants. I only kept fish and some artificial plants because the fish I kept didn't lend it to it. So that is just a tank comprising the fish, some decoration, and what you have in terms of an ecosystem is of course your beneficial bacteria, the invisible little critters on your surfaces in your aquarium, and of course your filter. And that is keeping a fish tank, more or less. Just keeping an aquarium with some colorful fish in there. Most of us start with a community tank with different kind of fish in there. And that is the start sort of a hobby. But then as you get tired of that, you can have some form of specialization. Maybe you want to try keeping a wet pet, just a single fish that is very personable, like a betta. Some of us start there, or maybe a flowerhorn cichlid, or maybe something really big like an Oscar, for instance, that I'm always banging on as wet pets. So that is fish keeping. You know, you can have tropical fish. You can even have cold water fish in the form of fancy goldfish. And then there's also other critters that you can keep. You can go on and maybe keep an axolotl, although they need cold water, so you need to be careful about that. And from then on, there's also the shrimp keeping hobby. And there's a lot of people that specialize these days in keeping shrimp. And that's something that I've recently tried, and now I've got a shrimp tank as well. So that is just keeping the animals. And then from then, there's a big trend in the hobby, and then you can go into planted aquariums. Now that can take different forms. It can take the form of a low-tech tank like the one here beside me. You know, the lights are quite high-tech now, but you know, it had low-tech or cheaper lights before. And then you can do those with just sand or gravel with root tabs in the substrate, or you can do a dirted tank, and you know, just with your heating and your filtration. And that's what's called a low-tech planted aquarium. And that's sort of the style that I have been doing lately in the hobby for the last, probably for the last few years of this hobby. The last 6-7 years of this hobby, I've been doing the planted aquarium like that, you know, deep dirted substrates, and, you know, the low-tech way of doing plants. So that's one way you can do it. That is when you start working on these ecosystem aquariums, where you have not only the fish, but maybe also shrimps with it, and the plants, and the invisible bacteria. You really start forming an ecosystem with the substrate and everything in the tank. And from there on, you know, some people specialize even more to the planted side of hobby, and that's where you get your high-tech planted aquariums. And then you go into the realm of CO2 injection, of course, you know, the high-tech lights and fancier, more expensive substrates like your ADA Aquasoil, and then you can grow a much wider variety of plants, and you can grow them much faster, and then you go into aquascaping, and that's something that is more on the high end of a freshwater hobby. And as the name says, it is about creating a landscape underwater, and the fish become secondary in focus. It's more about the plants and creating an attractive layout, and those are the kind of tanks we see every year in the IAPLC competition, and people really create some amazing aquascapes and tanks in this high-end fashion. Now, if you're a freshwater hobbyist and you've done all these things, or not, even if you have not done all these things, you know, there's always the seawater end of the hobby, the saltwater, as you Americans say, or the marine hobby, as we say here in South Africa. And in there's still more aspects to it. I've had a marine aquarium, just a smallish nano aquarium, back in the past for a long time, and I really enjoyed it. If you've never done the saltwater side of a hobby, I would urge you to give it a try. Not go all the way, because here, once again, you can just keep the fish and the critters. And there's no plants besides macroalgae that's been the rage now in the marine side of the hobby. But the next step up would be reef keeping, where you keep all sorts of corals along with the crustaceans and the marine fish, and that becomes quite a sophisticated thing. Now, there are some other aspects of hobby that you can delve into. You can even go into breeding fish or growing plants on and selling them, or you can even grow into fragging corals and growing corals. Now, as I've said, there's a couple of things that I haven't done yet. I've had a marine tank, as I've said, but that only had fish and live rock. Like they say these days, a fowler tank, fish only with live rock. But there was also a couple of cleaner shrimps and some fire red shrimps, the seawater kind in there, so not strictly just a fowler tank, but I didn't go into the corals and all that. So reef keeping is something that I've never tried my hand at in this hobby. As you can see, this is really a freshwater channel, because that's what I've been doing for more than the last decade. You know, that's about how long it was since I had a seawater or a marine aquarium. So reef keeping is something that I haven't tried yet. It's an expensive part of our hobby, and it's not something I'm going to try anytime soon. My budget that just doesn't allow it. The other aspect of hobby that, believe it or not, I have not yet done is a high-tech planted aquarium that you see with these high-end aquascapes. Doing this planted aquarium setup, but more geared towards the aquascape and not the fish, and most importantly with CO2, carbon dioxide injection. Now, in the garage, it's sitting there ready. It's about an 80-litre tank, a 20-gallon high, with a CO2, with a outside canister filter to take the heater and the stuff out of the tank. And I'm going to give it my very best shot and do a high-end sort of aquascape. Going to give it my first shot with CO2. So that is coming in the future. We should have that up and running in a few months' time. And that's something I'm going to dip my foot into. Reef keepers, I'm going to stay clear for that for a while. It's just not in the budget to do it properly. But you guys tell me in the comment section, what do you do when you get bored in the hobby? I think just try a new aspect of a hobby. If you've never kept planted tanks, try that. If you never had a single pet fish, try that. If you've never done a CO2 injected tank like I'm going to do now, try that. If you never tried the marine hobby, maybe just try it in a simple way, with a few chunks of live rock and a couple of clownfish. But those changes are what makes it exciting sometimes also. You know, and that way you avoid boredom as well. If there's any tips that you guys can give me of what you've done when you got bored with a hobby, don't tell me pack it in, because that sort of defeats the purpose. And let me know in the comments. And that's it from me today. Please remember to subscribe, and as always, take good care of those domestic denizens of the deep.